Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I thought I'd just pop in here and do a quick check-in and have a bit of a discussion. I know it's been a minute, and so today's discussion is going to be all about how we handle heavy emotions because this girl right here has been experiencing a lot. And so that's what this group is for, right? Our recovery and how we work through things in life. And so I wanted to pop in and do our affirmations because hi Vicky, happy Saturday, because I just posted some new ones this morning. So I thought we'd start there. And so our first affirmation is, like the moon, I am whole in all of my phases. Oh wait, I said that backwards. Like the moon, in all of my phases, I am whole. We'll go ahead and do that one again and see if I can get it right the first time. Like the moon, in all of my phases, I am whole. Our second one for this week is, I embrace challenges with confidence and charm. We'll say that one again. I embrace challenges with confidence and charm. And our third one for the week is, I welcome all the good into my life. And one more time. I welcome all the good into my life. Good job, guys. Thanks for joining me on that this week. And I'm sure I'll have a reel to follow that up. And so if you guys need to tune in, to tune up your vibe this week, that'll be available shortly. And yeah, like I said, I just wanted to pop in and see how everybody's doing. I know for me personally, I've been dealing with a lot of unexpected and heavy emotions, and there's really nothing's happened, nothing's changed. There's nothing big going on in my life per se, no big curveballs or anything. And I'm grateful for that. But I've just been feeling kind of stuck, just overwhelmed and stuck, and a lot of heavy emotions. And now I know that there's been a lot going on in the world. And I try not to tune into too much of it, but it happens. And so being aware of the things that are going on in the world, that can create a lot of heaviness in us, as well as all of the celestial things going on, if you pay attention to that sort of thing. Seems like ever since the lunar eclipse, I've just kind of been feeling stuck. And so I've had a hard time even getting online. I had to disconnect from a lot of things that I was active in, and I just kind of fell off, and that's not like me, but I was at a point where I needed to focus on some self-care. And that was one of the ways I started addressing my heavy emotions. I was getting messages talking about low stream, so I hope you guys are receiving this all right. I pulled up some stuff, and of course I accidentally closed it out before my live stream went live, because you got to have those technical difficulties. And yeah, I guess one of the first things to do when we're feeling a lot of emotions, especially if there's not a reason for it, is to acknowledge those feelings. It's real easy for us to just want to stuff them down and not pay attention to them. But the first thing we got to do is acknowledge those feelings. You go, hey, man, I'm not really feeling like myself. I'm not in the right headspace, or things just seem difficult. And so acknowledging that is our first step with anything in life. When we have a problem, what's the first thing we got to do? Especially in recovery, we acknowledge that there's a problem. So, hey, I've been like all dense and heavy and stuck over here, feeling like a bump on a log. And it was time I addressed that, because I need to move past the fact that I'm just feeling this way. And so now that I've addressed that, sorry, my dogs are rolling into my little platform here. And I'm acknowledging that. Now that I've addressed the fact that I'm feeling these emotions, It's time to move past that and take our next step and do something about it. And when we're feeling stuck and heavy, I know for me personally, that's not always an easy step to take. But it's such an important one because the biggest thing to overcome feelings and anything in our life is action. And so now that we've acknowledged it, it's time to get busy. What can we do to pull ourselves out when we're in a slump? Self-care is first of the list. Make sure you're taking good care of yourself, that you have balance in your life, that you're not showing up too much over here, not enough over there, or that you're not busy taking care of everybody else and not thinking about yourself. Because we cannot pour from an empty cup. And I was saying that to my youngster this last week, and she told me that she'd never heard that phrase, and I found that interesting because that's something that I've become very familiar with in my life. And so I had the opportunity to discuss with her what that means. And for a good part of my life, I was a big people pleaser. And I still, I love for people to be happy around me and to be well taken care of and to feel loved. And so that's important to me. But for a good part of my life, I would lose myself in that. I would care for others to the point that I would lose myself and I wouldn't care for myself. And then I would become drained and empty and sometimes even feelings of resent because my needs weren't getting met. Well, that was nobody else's fault but my own. And at that point, I didn't have the wherewithal to know that. And so now I need to remind myself that's part of my recovery is my self-care and remembering to care for myself. And so I explained to her how when we're busy doing all these other things and spending our energy and giving our energy to these other places, it's so vital for us to remember to take care of ourselves as well, because we have to fill up our cups so that we have something to offer someone else. If we're empty, we're not giving everybody else the best of us. We're not even getting the best of us. We deplete ourselves and become ragged. And so self-care, number one, are you taking care of your physical body? Are you getting enough exercise? This is a place where I am struggling in my life. My little puppy's sitting here playing ball behind my ring light. So that's what I'm doing if you see me do this. Yeah, she thinks it's fun. Oh, goodness, there it went. And I guess she is having fun. So if you don't mind, while we play ball with Izzy over here. Hey, buddy. There she is. She popped in to say hi. Being mindful of what we're giving our energy to. What are we allowing into our lives that may be draining us or causing us overwhelm? Are we saying no when we need to? Are you saying yes just to make someone else happy? And is that making you unhappy? That's a big problem, or it was for me anyway. Earlier in life, I was good at saying yes to everyone else and saying no to myself. And I'm sure that stemmed from early childhood trauma. I just didn't know how to take care of my own needs. And so that's another thing that we've got to be mindful of in our recovery, in our self-care, is taking time to know ourselves and know what we need. What do we need to do in our lives for ourselves to make sure that we keep those cups filled? Exercise. I am forever thinking about how I need to exercise and every day not doing it. And as a result, I have feelings of self-judgment. And that's not healthy. And that's why, we're having this discussion right now, because I know I'm not the only one that struggles with this. And we're not always going to be motivated. So that's where discipline comes in. And that's something I'm working on in my own life, in myself. And that comes with balance as well. We have to have self-discipline to take care of the things that we need to as grown-ups in this life, right? If we don't pay our bills, there's going to be consequences. And we have to be disciplined enough to be responsible with our finances to make sure that all of those needs are met. Well, the same goes for our own needs. And so being disciplined in the areas that isn't always fun is so important. And it's something that can be practiced and developed. And it's really just digging down and finding that grit and that resilience and getting up and doing it. It's that action key. We can think about it all day long, but if we ain't doing it, it ain't going to get done. So make a list, write it down, and stick to that list. But make sure when you're making lists of things that you want to take care of, that they're attainable goals. Um, Big dreams, yes. Small attainable steps to get there. Or else we end up developing those feelings of overwhelm again. And so some of the ways that we can combat these feelings of overwhelm, in my opinion, in my experience, is make a list. What's making you feel overwhelmed? What's out of whack in your life? What needs to be addressed? What have you been putting off that needs to be taken care of and addressed? I know that can be another thing, to cause feelings of overwhelm. If we're avoiding something that needs to be taken care of, make a list. Write it down. There's something magical when you write things down. The universe and your brain starts working on ways of making it come to fruition. It's part of manifestation, you know? Write down what you need to take care of. Write down your dreams and your goals. And then set those smallest attainable steps to make sure those things happen. And reward yourself. This is one way that you can help with that self-discipline. Is if you've got something fun that you don't want to do but you have to do it. And when you get it done, celebrate that. Especially if it's been weighing on you. Man, go treat yourself to ice cream or something, whatever that thing is for you. I know ice cream isn't a very healthy option, but it's a better option than some of the rewards that we reward ourselves with, or maybe used to in the past, you know? Take yourself someplace nice. Go to a park. Go do something enjoyable that's going to bring peace to your soul. There are so many negatives that we can focus on in life that sometimes we forget to enjoy the good parts. And so make it a point when you reach those goals, take care of those things, even addressing your feelings. Celebrate that. If you've been avoiding it, celebrate it when you do. Be proud of yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader. It's so important in life. We're not always going to have people on the outside validating us or helping us to feel better about ourselves. We got to do it for us. And there my train derailed. So that's some of my ideas on how to handle overwhelm and stress. Like I said, being aware of what you're letting into your life, what your eyes and ears. You're supposed to guard these things for good reason. There's a lot of crazy out there. You don't want to expose yourself to all that crazy. It's just not healthy. And then it puts weird things in your head. So be mindful. Be mindful of the movies you watch. Be mindful of what media you're watching, because not all of it's good for consumption. I'll say it like that. And it isn't. That's just truth. So for me, Bob Baker's one of my mentors, and he does affirmations videos, and he does very well at that. And so instead of scrolling on reels or watching a movie that may not be a healthy movie, maybe feed myself with some affirmations, because that's something that's going to build us up and help us to get through those things instead of resorting to escapism and avoiding the feelings or the things that we have to do. Get outside. It's a big one. Hi, Mrs. E. Get outside. I know that here where I live, the weather isn't always conducive to be outside in, or at least not fun to be outside in. So I try to take advantage when it's sunny or even a half decent day, just getting out there, even for a few minutes. When the sun peeks through those clouds, I love to go outside and go, hey, sun, it's so beautiful to see you. And just really be grateful for that moment. And that's another way that we can combat those feelings of overwhelm or stuckness, is start counting our blessings. Be mindful of what is in your life, not what's lacking. Even if maybe there's not lacking, just feelings of despair, start counting your blessings, things you're grateful for. I have 10 fingers. I'm grateful for that. Well, 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. I'm grateful for that. That's an amazing gift right there. I had hurt my back about a week ago. Really random, just turned and twisted wrong. Why? Because Lisa needs to get off her butt and exercise. It was a reminder things are out of balance in my life and I need more physical activity. Getting outside is important. Moving your body. And it doesn't have to be some elaborate workout or anything like that. Get out and turn on the music and just dance around. You know, it's so important to move your body and help those energies move through. That's one thing that happens when we're feeling stuck is we just be stuck. And so if you can get out and move your body, it allows the energy to pass through you and move through you. And that's a way that we can instantly up our vibe and not feel so stuck. Let's see here. Was there anything else I wanted to say on that? Meditation. Meditation's another way of helping with those feelings. Instead of ruminating on everything and overthinking, meditate, quiet yourself. Quiet that little voice inside and find that place of peace and enjoy that for a few moments. Let's see here. I think that's probably about all I got to say. Next time I should probably give you guys a little more warning that I'm going to go live. But I sure do appreciate all of you, and I hope that this discussion has been helpful on some level. Like I said, I just wanted to pop in and say hi to you guys and let you know that I'm still here and working on being more engaged with our group here. You know, I'd love to talk to you guys a little more one-on-one, and maybe we can schedule that Zoom call I was talking about a while back. And so, yeah, leave me your feedback. Let me know what you thought of today's discussion, how you handle feelings, heavy feelings, dense feelings, feelings of overwhelm. And what are your remedies? How do you self-care? You know, is it a cup of tea? Is it a walk in the park? Is it laying out looking at the stars or playing with your children or being with friends? What is it? What helps you to feel better when you haven't been? And so, yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and thank you for being here with me. And I'm so proud of all the work that you're doing in your lives. I know all of us have battles that we don't talk about, and I just want you to know you're doing a really great job. And I love you guys. Talk again soon. Bye for now.